Hi everyone and welcome to Advent Poles number 13. Today we have the poles evenly spaced on what is approximately a 20-metre circle. The poles are positioned at what would be 12, 3, 6 and 9 on the clock face. I begin by walking a simple circle, aiming for the centre of each pole as part of my warm-up. Although I'm not doing it here, something that I do like to do with this exercise is count the number of strides between each of the poles. And then once I've warmed up, I try to reduce or increase that number of strides by extending or collecting the stride. Here, however, I'm going to start to ask for some lateral movement. I cross the last pole at the centre. So now I've asked Elsa to move slightly to the left to cross the blue pole at the widest part. Now I'm going to ask her to move slightly right to cross the red and white pole at the narrowest part of the circle. Now I'm going to go back to the widest. And then to the narrowest again. You can do this by asking for some leg yield in each direction to get the horse to move one way or the other, or maybe for a younger rider, you could just ask them to maintain the straight line, but change their direction slightly so they're practicing their steering. So here we are on the left rein. As you probably know by now, what I do one way, I need to do the other. And here I'm still supposedly, though that one was a little off centre, supposedly still walking around the circle, aiming for the middle or the centre of each pole. That one was a little better. So now I ask for a little lateral movement again, and this time I'm aiming for the widest part of the circle, so the far end of the pole. And as I come to the red and white one, I'm asking to come back to the smaller circle and the near part of the pole. When I first started using this exercise, I would go from the centre of the pole and then cross the next pole at the widest part, and then at the next pole come back to the centre before going to the narrowest part at the fourth pole. That makes it a little bit easier as the horses get used to it. So then I progressed to trot. I began by just riding the circle and meeting each of the poles in the centre again. And then I progressed to riding the wider part and the narrower part. Now, I have to confess that during this session of recording, Storm Dara was going on outside, and Elsa wasn't particularly happy about the situation. And yeah, there are some interesting outtakes for this filming session. She was quite tense, bless her. And I have taken the sound off the background because you could hear the wind and the rain and the door rattling, which she didn't like at all, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, she is a little bit tense. But she managed to get through. So, with this in mind, I managed to record the left rein trot and the right rein canter without too many hiccups. Unfortunately, I don't have videos of each on both reins. In canter, just riding the circle itself, aiming for the middle of each of the poles, can be tricky enough. Of course, once you ride the wider circle to the narrower circle, you're changing the distance each time, so this can change the number of strides for the horses. That was Advent Poles number 13. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow.